What is going on, guys? Grave here. Today I'd like to talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, this is going to be just my first impressions. I've only had so many hours in the game so far, but as of right now, I have really been enjoying it. When it comes to one thing that I'm going to let you all know, I am playing this on the PS5 Pro, so your play experience may vary from mine depending on what platform you're playing on. So just kind of put that out there so everyone knows. First of all, when it comes to bugs, I've not really had any issues with bugs or anything like that, which is great for Ubisoft because, as we all know, Ubisoft has had an issue in the past with some of their games being buggy to where it's just kind of annoying, or buggy to the point where it makes the game unplayable. And I think Ubisoft needed a win, and I think they knew that. And this game so far has delivered on, some of the issues they've had with past Ubisoft games and even Assassin's Creed games. Overall, graphics-wise, it looks absolutely amazing. On the PS5 Pro, it is gorgeous. Now, I don't think you're going to have an issue with graphics on, maybe just the base PS5, the Series S, the Series X, that kind of thing. But I think, in general, yes, the PS5 Pro is going to look a little bit better because, the game is just enhanced for that. And there's been a lot of talk from Ubisoft and just, people in general on your forums and things like that, even on YouTube, discussing how this game was really enhanced, and they put a lot of time into the Pro version, which I'm kind of glad to see. We all know that games have been lasting a while, even on last gen. Right now, over the last several years, a lot of people are kind of upset the games aren't only being made just for the PS5, just for the Xbox Series S and X. So for this game to have a lot of enhancements for the PS5 Pro, if you own one, it's definitely nice. And like I said, the graphics are absolutely gorgeous. But I do think the graphics are going to look good from everything that I have seen personally so far from, other footage and things of people playing on, just the regular PS5 or the Series S or X. The graphics still look really good. Gameplay-wise, not a lot of change, fighting mechanics and things like that from what you have experienced in maybe Valhalla or, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, things like that. That still open world RPG element is there, which personally for me, I know a lot of you may be old school Assassin's Creed fans. I've played all the Assassin's Creed games, but when they went to that open world RPG style, I really did enjoy it. Instead of just that storyline where you go from point A to point B, just following the story. I know a lot of you out there may like that, and that's perfectly fine. Everybody has their own preference. But for me, individually, I do like the idea of this better. And this kind of follows suit. You have the same thing with your other Assassin's Creed games we've had in the past several years, where you're following that story, but it's also open world. You can kind of go out and do what you want. You can go out and do the side missions. You can go out and just kind of adventure. You can go out and find a lot of hidden things that I'm sure a lot of us have not found yet when it comes from armor to collectibles, whatever the case could be there. But overall, I really do like that. But the formula has not really changed a lot from what we have seen in the past. Combat-wise, still the same kind of idea when it comes to combat. Pretty much parrying, blocking, being able to counter an enemy once you're fighting them. Kind of the same premise, like I said, it has been over the last several years. Story-wise, as of right now, I don't think the story is bad. Don't get me wrong on that. But is it the best story they've had? I'm not sure. But it's kind of setting the story aside. All the other elements of the game make it really good to me so far. So if there was a lot of other things that were, like issues, bugs, problems, or other parts of the game I didn't like, I wouldn't really be enjoying it as much. But just saying the story's not as good as, I was hoping it was going to be, or not as, right now, not as in-depth or unpredictable, I guess you would say, as I thought it could be. And it could change the more I get into the game. But right now, the story is not as, doesn't really just capture you like some games would. Some games just kind of capture with the story. That's what makes the game great. But everything else, all the other elements of Assassin's Creed Shadows is really what makes the experience very enjoyable. While the story is not bad by any means, it is still good. There's so much other stuff going on. It makes the game very enjoyable just overall. And there's a lot of new things, of course, with inventory. Of course, we're still going to have the option to, collect things off the ground. So far, I've seen a lot of stuff that's not really usable, if that makes sense. You're going to have a lot of gear that you're going to pick up that's really just not even worth having. Then when it comes to kind of your skills and things like that, the skill tree is a little more simplified than it was in Valhalla, which I think is a good thing. There's a lot of different paths you can choose there between the two different characters you have available to you. But just like I said, this is going to be kind of just a quick first impressions. Overall, Graphics are great. Bugs are really not non-existent. Story, like I said, not the greatest, but still playing it, so it could improve. But just in general, the game is very, very enjoyable. I see why it's been getting really good reviews from a lot of the reviewers out there, because I know a lot of people are kind of curious. How's this going to go? How's it going to be? Is it going to be their next big Assassin's Creed game? Is it going to be a flop? And I think as of right now, from my experience, out of all the Assassin's Creed games I've played, it's definitely up there as one of the top ones. And like I said, I am a big fan of those RPG style games. And when this was announced years ago, we're going to have an Assassin's Creed that is going to be RPG open world in Japan, I was really, really looking forward to it. And I'm really glad it's finally here, and I'm being able to get into the game and get my hands on it. Now, of course, I'll bring a lot of other videos about other stuff in game in the future. So, keep an eye out here on the channel to make sure that you see those videos if you are interested in Assassin's Creed Shadows. Leave me a comment with your thoughts. Let me know if you've played the game yet. And, of course, if you like it, hit the like. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.